Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Next, we're going to hear from Julia Lewis Spann. She's with Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company. Julia has been heard on our show before. So, Julia, let's remind some of our listeners, what is it that makes you get up out of your bed every day?
The fact that I can give people hope, Anita. Thank you so much.
Okay, and what do they have to do?
Oh, it's very simple. Make a phone call, see someone for 15 minutes, and that's it. No medical exam or anything.
And we're talking now, of course, about insurance.
Yes.
And we're talking about insurance says a lot of things to me. It says money, it says security. So what are we going to get?
Yes, what you're going to get with Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company with the Funeral Advantage Plan is a policy, a whole life policy that secures your assets. Actually, is considered an asset because it's whole life. It builds cash values and has the family support aspect to it through the Funeral Advantage Plan. That's the portion that saves you hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the cost of the final arrangements.
So tell us a couple of, give us a typical client of yours and who they are, what they did, why did they do it?
Sure. For example, I just got a referral from someone whose sister had a stroke, also was a cancer survivor, is a cancer survivor, and had a heart attack. All these things happen, and she's only in her 50s.
Oh, my goodness.
She's only in her 50s. She had all of this go on, and on top of that, she has back problems. So when I went to see her, she was just recovering from 2 surgeries that she recently had and is being referred for a third one. So when I went to see her, and this was just a few days ago, you can see the effect of the stroke, but she could still talk. And she was still, able to communicate what she needs to be done. And I was happy to be able to get her on the line with Lincoln Heritage and get her approved.
Really? Now that's very strange for someone thinking about insurance.
Yes. That's what people want. They're looking for hope. They're looking for coverage. They're looking for protection. They're looking for a way to protect their families from that burden of that final expense.
So, why does your company accept people who are in such difficult health situations?
Well, because many times no other company will cover them. It's very difficult or expensive to get coverage anywhere else. If you go through a traditional life insurance company, then the results of your medical exam from other companies would come back as a high rating. The high rating meaning, say if they have high blood pressure, and I've worked for other life insurance companies, if you have high blood pressure, if you have diabetes, if you have high cholesterol, sometimes even if people have back problems or if they've recently been in the hospital, they could either be highly rated in terms of the charges that their premiums would be, or they could be outright declined. So that's the thing that's the hope that we give through Lincoln Heritage, is that you don't have to go through a medical exam. You can have pre-existing conditions and we'll still be able to cover you. And this is this example recently, it seems like in the last few days, I've been getting coverage for people with strokes. I've had like 4 or 5 people in the last week or so that I've covered. I've been able to help because of what we do at Lincoln Heritage with the Funeral Advantage Plan.
And so you have the word Funeral Advantage Plan. So talk about why that's in there.
Oh, yes. That is one of the best features of what we offer with Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company. The Funeral Advantage Plan is provided by the partners, which is also a family-owned company called the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society. They are also, as I said, a family-owned company like Lincoln Heritage, have been around for decades and decades, like Lincoln Heritage. And they are our exclusive partners. And what they do is they provide professional services, concierge services to your family and give you a guide on how to plan for your, the final arrangements, what songs you want sung, what prayers you want said, what verses or scriptures you want read, if it's poems recited, anything that's going to honor you as an individual, whether it's cremation, whether it's a traditional burial, anywhere in the world, all throughout the country of the United States of America, but it could be in Canada, it could be in the Caribbean. We have a number of people who want to be, their final resting place to be there. Anywhere in the world we work with. And so the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society is a society of retired funeral directors. And of course, they have experience in working with families. They're professional. They know the ins and outs of the industry. They know the costs. They know the standards. And they will make sure that whichever funeral homes you decide on are in good standing and they are following the right practices, and they will get you the best and most fair deal for your family. In addition to that, they also save you the costs of many of those hidden charges that you might not be aware of, or your family members or loved ones might not be aware of when they're grieving your loss. Often what people are looking for at that time is just to get it over with. They just want to get you finished, closed, and done. And so they will sign off on anything oftentimes because they're so grieved with your situation. And so what the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society does is give you that advantage during that time of the funeral to make sure that all the plans are already in place ahead of the time of your transition, and that your final wishes are honored on that day when you get there.
All right. Now, I want people to be able to call you. So give me the number that they should reach you, Julia.
Yes, it's area code 754-234-8252.
Okay, that's Julia Lewis Spann. She is with Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company. The phone number again, remember, get your pencils out, is 754-234-8252. Now, I think when we talked before, you said that people can, when something happens and they need the money for the funeral, and let's say the insurance policy that you sold them is for $10,000. Mm-hmm. They know something happens, but the funeral they chose is only $3,000.
Yes.
So what happens with the other money?
It's their decision. They get to keep that money. They can just do with the money what they want to, because the money goes directly to your beneficiaries. It doesn't go to the funeral home. It doesn't go to some other third party. It goes to whomsoever you designate to receive those benefits.
So this isn't, though, a typical life insurance policy. It's different.
It is very different. And that's what I'm proud to provide. We provide a whole life benefit that doesn't require a medical exam, and the premiums never increase. The policy benefits never decrease. It's locked in for life once you're approved, and it's most of the people who apply do get approved. As I told you in my case with this lady, one lady in particular, whom I was able to help. She's a cancer survivor. She just finished chemotherapy 2 months ago. And so I could still see the result, the markings of her suffering. And I was able to say yes through Lincoln Heritage. Yes, we're very different. We pay out in 24 hours. That was one of the founding principles of Lincoln Heritage back in 1963 when we were started by Jack London, was to provide fast, quick claims processing in 24 hours for families. And so the family can walk into the funeral home with cash in hand. You'll have that emergency cash to take care of things. Like, as I said in one of our other times together, Anita, when my father passed away, one of the things we had to do, we had to have money to lock up the house because we changed the locks. That was one of the first things we had to do because, as what can happen, people can show up out of the woodworks I didn't know who had a key to his house. We were down here. He was up in another state. We needed to protect our belongings in our family. And so you need money to do that. You need money to clear the house out. If you're needing an estate sale, you've got to have people to help take care of everything. So the good thing about Lincoln Heritage with the Funeral Advantage Plan is that we turn things around very quickly for you, faster than most life insurance companies you will find out there. And for people who have come through and lost money, I mean, if you think about the scandal with Bernie Madoff, a lot of my clients, they have invested a lot and they've lost a lot. And it's so unfortunate. They don't have the assets that they used to have. And they're, victims of strokes, heart attacks. They've had cancer. They've had diabetes. They're on kidney dialysis. They're suffering a lot of different ailments at this point in their lives. And their kids might not even have in this economy the money to support them. So when they see me come to their door, there's hope, because I can give them an option to still be able to get coverage and have that benefit to protect their families.
And this is a funny question, but what would an insurance policy start at? How much money, what's the lowest amount?
Sure. The lowest amount is $15.
Well, I wasn't going that far.
Yes. Our policies start as low as $15 a month in premium. So whatever that works out to be for you, we will fit that to your budget. We just want you to be comfortable. That's the thing. And have that peace of mind that comes with having life insurance with Lincoln Heritage.
So the $15 equates to a certain amount of money that you would get.
Yes, and that depends on age and health. So the younger you are and the healthier you are, the more likely, the further $15 can go as far as the face amount would be. But one of the things that I do for all of my clients is make sure that, it's their option, but I emphasize and make sure that I give it to them, is the accidental death protection. Our accidental death policies also cover acts of war or terrorism. One of the things that I have seen with several other life insurance policies that have that accidental is that they exclude death due to act of war or terrorism.
They do.
They do. And Lincoln Heritage is one of the few that you will find that still will do that. And in addition to that, what Lincoln Heritage does is cover you for hate crimes. So, yes. So like the situation where the people in church were at that Bible study,
yeah, right.
It was just unthinkable. The last place you would expect to die or get shot, is in your church on a Wednesday night Bible study. So this was this. If any of those people who would have had Lincoln Heritage and the accidental protection, which goes up to $160,000, their families would have immediately the next day received $160,000 plus whatever face amount they had.
Yeah, I really do understand it. Every time you come here, I understand it a little bit better. But I was thinking, because you had said that there were a lot of the directors of funeral homes who formed this, and maybe they saw when something happened, no one had any money.
Yes. A lot of times funeral directors, they see this. They see people coming in with no money. It was unexpected, or just didn't plan for it. And then they have to go and get a loan from one of their loan sharks because the family didn't have the money. And then the family is a victim again. They're crying twice because they're getting charged a 20-30% interest fee on top, which is called an assignment fee. So if you do have a life insurance policy, that's just a piece of paper to the funeral director. And until they see that it's a legitimate, active policy. And then there's investigation on behalf of the insurance company to vet out the beneficiaries, make sure that they are who they are and that they're entitled to those benefits. So there's a lot that goes into it, and that's what takes anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months, sometimes longer, for these life insurance companies to pay out those death proceeds.
Oh, I see. So Yeah, so I think that for me is one of the biggest pluses of this.
Yes.
Is that when, it's kind of like when someone dies, they want to know, where's the birth certificate, where's this? There's so many things they have to have, but they never talk about the money.
Yes.
You need to have the money to start the wheels rolling.
Yes, yes.
And if they don't have the money, they do have to go and borrow it.
Yes.
But if they have a policy from Lincoln Heritage, all you have to do is be informed that there was a death.
Yes, that's it. We give you these cards, these little cards that are from the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society. That's another part of the Funeral Advantage Plan. You just call the number on your membership card when the person, your loved one, passes away. Say, hey, my mother passed away, or my father, or whoever your loved one is, passed away, and we go to bat for you. We will take care of everything. Everything you had set up, we take care of it. We'll even do all the research on any funeral homes that you chose. We'll do the price shopping for you. We'll also search all the databases to see if there are any other life insurance policies out there.
I bet that happens.
Yes, because a lot of times people don't realize that loved one had an extra policy. Who goes around talking about this? Thanksgiving is coming up. The holidays are coming up. And sometimes that conversation does come up and sometimes it doesn't. So that's when you find out after the person's passed away that, they had the life insurance policy, or they had some other benefits, maybe through the military, whatever. And we try to make sure that we help the family claim all that belongs to them in a pretty quick and efficient manner.
Yeah, that's excellent. And you always brag about the company being around for so long, because that's very important.
Yes.
They have the one bank, you go to the bank, the next time it's not there, it's another branch.
Yes.
And where's their headquarters located?
In Phoenix, Arizona. Yes, Phoenix, Arizona is where our headquarters are, but we have offices all throughout the country, and I'm out of this one in South Florida. And, we make sure we give you that personalized attention. Because a lot of times people think, I can do it over the phone, I can call it in, I can, get it over through the mail, but it's just not that personalized.
No.
And we're a family-owned company. We value you as a person. You wouldn't want to, talk to your grandmother or your mom over the phone for your birthday. You prefer her to be right there with you. If you're planning your wedding, do you want your wedding planner to be, do it all over the phone or online or something?
Yeah.
This is very personal.
So you go to each person if they're interested.
Yes.
You go there, you sit with them, you make sure it's the right thing for them.
Yes.
Have you ever turned anyone away?
No. The only exception would be if they have, we'll refer them to someone who can help them. But the only exception is if they are in jail, or if they have a terminal illness, or if they have HIV AIDS at this point.
Okay, well, hopefully you're not going to get those kind of calls from us. So again, what you'll want to do is you want to call Julia Lewis Spann with Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company. The phone number there is 754-234-8252. 754-234-8252. And I will tell you personally, she is one of the sweetest, dearest people, and she does take care of people, her clients. She will do that. And so even if you have some other insurance you're thinking of, and you're a little confused, call her, because if she can't handle it, she'll find someone who does know, because insurance is it's very bad. I hate to look at my insurance policies on my life insurance.
Yes.
I don't understand anything about it.
And that's why we're here. That's why we sit down with you. We'll go over all your benefits. When you get your package, we come to you. We have a policy review. We keep in touch with. That's one thing about Lincoln Heritage. We're very family oriented. We work with you in person, because we want to see you. We want you to see us. We want to have a personal relationship with you because we really care. We really care, not just about our little commission check, but we care about you and making sure that whatever your needs are, socially, emotionally. We're not counselors, but we care. We really do. We reach out to you.
Yeah, you have suggestions of what maybe they could do.
Suggestions. And we want to make sure that you have everything that you need is respected to respect your final wishes.
Okay, so now how do the adult children get into this?
The adult children.
So let's say you are the mom, the dad, and you have this now. you passed away or something, and how are they going to know that there is even anything like this around?
Well, we keep in great communication with them. We usually gather like lists of your emergency contacts, and we will often have a policy review together. Once your package comes, we'll have that. And also those cards that I mentioned, the membership cards, we mail those out with I usually mail them out with a little cover letter just saying, this is your Funeral Consumer Guardian Society membership card from your loved one, and feel free to call me. I put my card in there and the membership card, and if anything happens, feel free to call the number on either one of those cards. Yes,
because the confusing thing, and this, Julia, is that some people, the kids don't really know where their bank accounts are. They don't know anything. And then all of a sudden, something happens.
Yes.
They have to come down. They only have a weekend. And they try to get everything done in a weekend.
Yes.
So, and a lot of them, of course, have enough problems with their own family for money.
Exactly.
So for them to write a check is tough. So, and so when you go to a funeral home, they require a check, don't they? Require money, don't they?
They require that money. Yes, they do. And, I'm proud to say that Lincoln Heritage comes up with that money so quickly. I just sat down with someone down in Miramar. She was telling me about when her husband, he was only 64 years old. It was around Thanksgiving. They had a meal and everybody was having a good time. And, some of them went upstairs to bed and he was sitting downstairs and didn't come upstairs. And when the daughter went to, say, Daddy, she thought he fell asleep. He just fell over and had passed away. And she said, Lincoln Heritage was right there. They gave me that money right away. I was able to walk into the funeral home with the cash in hand. I didn't have to go through red tape or anything like that. I had the money, and I think hers was in 2 days because I think she called them, and so it comes as quickly as you want it to come to you. We're there for you. And so I am proud to say that we don't waste any time in getting that money to you because we know that cash is a real need for you at that time.
Now, people have the opportunity to have larger policies. What do your policies start at?
Well, again, it depends on age and health. You can start as low as you'd like to start. But as far as the premium, the monthly premium, as low as $15 per month. And again, I always make sure that I build in the accidental protection. So we could start at like $20,000 in accidental protection, which includes the coverage for hate crimes or, death due to a car crash or many illnesses or accidents. Not illnesses, but if there's a dismemberment, we'll give you cash money right while you're alive. And also say if there's a medical error or a medication or a slip, fall, drowning, electrocution, fire, anything like that. And around the holidays, there are a lot of accidents that happen. So we make sure that we, build that in, make you aware of that option for you. And so that's what I'm proud to do is give you that. And oftentimes people will supplement what they currently have. So even I'll take myself, I have a term life policy, but then I also have Lincoln Heritage. I have the whole life policy with Lincoln Heritage because I want my children, my family to know what my final wishes are and to have someone to go to bat for me or for them, they'll be here, and advocate and make sure that they don't have to go through all the legwork to find a funeral home and to know what I wanted and what my wishes were. That's priceless. That is priceless to have the funeral advantage and plan and to have these funeral directors, these retired funeral directors who really care, going to bat for you.
All right. So now you've told us what it's like, but when they call and you come, and I'll give your number out one more time. It's 754 234-8252. Again, it's 754-234-8252. So, all right. So now you make an appointment with someone.
Yes.
What happens next?
Then I take this little sheet. I know we're not on TV, but I take this little sheet and I kind of go through, who do you love? Who do you care about the most?
It's a heart.
Yeah, I have a heart on here. And I find out who is most close to you. And then I find out about maybe some organizations they're with that they care about, some missions or something. And I find out if they've had experienced a death a death, they're gone to a funeral, and what was that experience like, and kind of get an idea of what they would like. Do you want cremation? Do you want burial, traditional burial? How much do you estimate that would be? And then who would you want to be in charge of your, final arrangements, making sure everything goes smoothly. And so I get that information and I tell them about Lincoln Heritage and what we offer. And then we make the call to the company and get them qualified, which again, most people get qualified. As I told you, even with stroke, heart attack, whatever pre-existing conditions, there's so many that we're able to say yes to. So don't fear. I mean, I can wrap it up in 15, 20 minutes. You know what you want? I've got what you need.
Okay, and this starts out with something to do with the funeral.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then what happens, and I think this is what is unique, it doesn't mean that if you're getting all the money or your family's getting all the money for the funeral, that you then will have all the leftover money just goes back to the company.
Oh, no. You get that money in your hand. All of it. All of it. We write a check for the face amount and whatever, say if you passed away by accident, and say if you were a victim of a hate crime or terrorism. I mean, the accidents are in the top 4. That's a 4th leading cause of death, unintentional injuries, right. Death due to unintentional injuries. So why not get protection for that and make sure that you cover all the bases? So yes, you get that cash in hand in 24 hours. Yes, you file the claim with us. You call the number on the little card you get with your package, or you call me, your agent, and I will make sure that your claim is filed and that your money is paid to you.
Well, as usual, I learn a lot from you, Julia. Julia Lewis Spann, Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company. And I think it's a good thing for you. It's a consultation. It's free. See what she has to offer. I think that she's very trustworthy, and I believe that you will. You may find something you wanted and you didn't know you could get it. 754-234-8252. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Anita.